We are Mike and Jeannie, and we restore old houses. In 2021, we moved to South Carolina and bought a 120-year-old Victorian house. Follow along as we put the polish back on this Victorian masterpiece.
Today's program is sponsored by the generous support of our patrons. Your support helps to further our historic preservation efforts. For more information, visit patreon.com/1834 Restoration House.
Welcome back to 1834 Restoration House. My name is Elizabeth. Let's go see what my dad's doing.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, I'm building a blanket chest for your mom, and the last time I was doing this, we cut these rabbet joints in this beautiful piece of cedar right here. And this is aromatic cedar. Oh, yeah.
Smells great.
Yeah. Yeah, like I always say, too bad we don't have smell-o-vision. So the rabbet joint will actually fit into here like this, but I haven't yet cut the rabbet joints in this board, so it actually will go like that. So these are what's known as box joints. They have fingers and they have notches, and they're cut out precisely to fit together. And it's an old-time woodworking technique. So in theory, these two should fit together at the corner. So let's go ahead and put it together like that. And I should be able to just take this mallet and just tap it together. Well, something like that. It kind of goes together for the most part, so it's not absolutely perfect, but I think it's good enough for what we're doing here. I've set this up so we can mock up the corner. We have the long edge here, we have the end of the board here, and then we have the bottom. And so with the rabbet joint here, this will interlock into the actual boards on the perimeter. What I need to do is cut another rabbet joint all the way down here, and then cut a rabbet joint here like this. Now the problem is, if I cut a rabbet joint through a mouse hole, that's no problem because it won't show. But if I have to cut a rabbet joint through one of the fingers all the way to the outside, when I get done, you are going to see a hole right here, and that's not what we want. So we have to figure out a way that we can cut those rabbet joints a little bit short, but still long enough for this to fit in there. Let's knock this back apart so we can work on it. Those joints are so tight that we may not even need glue, or a very minimal amount of glue. And over time, the wood will shrink as it dries up, and I think that would lock these joints in nice and tight. Each one of these corners has a unique name. A, B, C, or D. And when you put the pairs together, it's pretty obvious which one goes which way. But what we don't know is which way is the top. And so we had to make a command decision here. This looks pretty good here, but look, there's a place where it's kind of chipped out a little bit. So we'll make that be the bottom. So then we took it like that and just marked a real light T on there to call it top. And then we turned this around so that it's in the right orientation and wrote a T on there. And we'll carry that around the rest of the way through the box. Now, before we do anything else, we have this glue residue and paper residue. And that's going to prevent the board from running flat on the table saw. So let's turn this over. And I'm going to take a block plane and just start attacking this stuff. We were doing some test fitting a moment ago and we discovered that one of the dados wasn't cut quite deep enough. on one edge. So we're going to run that edge back through here and see if we can clean that up. As you can see, there's a lot of head scratching that goes on in this process. Probably more head scratching than there is cutting. And so one of the things we talked about earlier was the fact that we can't cut out these fingers or else they'll show on the edges of the box. So what I did is I went ahead and set the blade to the correct depth for the rabbet cut. And then I found the point on the blade where it stops cutting. So right about there is where it stops cutting. So I put a tape here and did the same here. So anywhere between these two edges is where the blade cuts. So what that does is it gives us an opportunity to put this board down on the table and start cutting it without actually seeing where the blade is.
So I see there's a curve here. So when we're cutting into this piece here, is that going to leave a curve?
Yeah, it'll definitely leave a curve. I'm actually concerned about that because the curve is so shallow. I don't know that we can make a corner that's going to work without actually cutting into the finger. So I'm thinking maybe the best approach would be to go ahead and make that cut all the way through and make that notch. And then once it's all together, then we can fasten a piece of wood to it with glue, just a small piece that's hand cut, kind of like the old timers would have done. Tap it in there and sand it off, and nobody will ever know the difference.
Sounds great.
I hope you guys won't tell. Everything is in the correct orientation, top side, bottom side, and spun around the correct direction so that we can make the notches, the rabbet cut. So we should have T's on each edge of these boards. That's true. We have T, 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 and T. So everything's ready to go. Let's put on the headphones and get to it. With a little bit of luck and maybe some skill, that might just fit together. So let's grab some parts and see how we did. All right, do you think it'll work?
I hope so. I think
let's try it. Ooh, look at that.
Oh yeah, just like butter.
Just like butter, yep. It slides all the way through there.
A little bit more.
We get the tapper persuader. Okay, that should be flush with the end piece there. Like these two edges here should be. Yeah, it's a little bit shy, but that's okay. How's that?
Perfect.
Perfect?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I like it. So let's try one of these and see how that works. Oh yeah, that just drops right in there. I designed this so that it would free float just a little bit, so it's not terribly tight. And so it does have just a little bit of free play, which is great because wood swells and contracts, and we don't want to break anything. I would call that success.
Yes.
Now comes the moment we've all been waiting for. We know that this fits. A few minutes ago we saw that this fits, but can they all three work together? Can they live together peacefully? So let's go ahead and drop this in. And we'll just adjust that a little bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and let's slide this backwards just a hair. All right, let's tap that in place. Go ahead and push it towards me. Wow, look at that. We've got two sides and a base. They all fit together. Now, assuming we didn't make a mistake on those other pieces, we should be able to put the whole thing together at this point and have a nice dry fit. So earlier we talked about the letters. This is the D corner over here. Over here we have the C corner. So let's see if that'll drop in place. Yes. Yes. Sorry about the noise. Well, that takes care of that one. So now we have one more.
One more piece.
Do you think it'll fit?
Yes.
Great. I love your confidence. Let's see. So that one goes here, and then we have to spin it around like this, like that. And then if you'll take that side, I'll grab the other.
Alrighty.
All right, let's see here.
A little bit over. There we go.
Oh, that one just fell right in.
This side needs a little help.
Okay, all right, let's come over and help it along. There he goes. Yeah.
Oh, doesn't that look great? Wow, you guys went a long ways.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I'm really happy that it fit together because there were some times where I was not so sure if these joints would be perfect.
Yeah.
And this is really the first time it's ever gone together as a full box.
That's true.
Not even for test fitting. This is really genuinely the first time we put it completely together. And
wow.
You guys got to be with us.
I think that'll be a perfect size too. I can fit a comforter in there and a set of sheets.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even a pillow.
Yeah, maybe even a pillow. That's right.
Yeah.
I could.
Yeah, you can do quite a lot of things. And there will be feet that hold the thing up. So let's put it up on its bottom. So the box itself will be about this tall, and then it'll have some feet that go underneath it, lift it up a few more inches. And of course, there'll be a top on it with a hinge, so you can open and close it. Yeah, I think that turned out great.
Yes, it
Turned
did.
out great.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and it still has the look and feel of handcrafted furniture. In other words, it's not absolutely flawless. So you know that a human built this, not a robot. The next steps here are to take it apart and then put some strategic glue here and there and then go ahead and tap it back together. I don't think we even need to clamp it necessarily because it's so tight. Because just moving it around.
You can't even pull it out.
Yeah, I mean, you have to knock it apart.
That's
so
great.
A touch of glue here and there, and this thing will just stay together forever. But another thing is that it needs to be sanded inside and out, and that's a lot easier to do if the panels are off.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so I want to get them flat and smooth and nice.
Oh, it's looking so great. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. One of the things that I've been wanting to do with this project is find an old-fashioned, I'm talking like centuries-old method of wood finishing.
Oh, that's a
Not the
great
kind
idea.
that you get at Home Depot or Lowe's, but something that may have been concocted by the craftsman in his own shop. You know, take a little of this and a little of that, make something up, and put the fine furniture on there.
I love that idea. A little bit darker wood. I don't care for the blonde as much.
Right.
So
If you look at
definitely darker.
Yeah, because if you look at the old antiques, they have a dark color,
Dark
but they're also kind of a flat color. They're not bright and shiny, not glossy.
Yes.
If you see something that's super glossy, it's probably a fake. Or it's been refurbished.
Yeah.
Refurbished. Yeah.
I like the old stuff.
Yeah.
Me too.
That'd be great.
Yeah, we don't urethane these things.
Coming out, it was against the blade.
Oh, well, let's try that again, huh? All right. Go ahead and do that corner there.
This one this way?
Go that way. Yep.
This-
Yep.
Oh.
That was easy. Okay, well that was even easier. All right then. We took all the panels outside and sanded them. We used a coarse grit to really just kind of level things down and take out the edge that was caused where the two boards came together. So we took that out. Everything is nice, smooth, and flat now. What I'm going to do now is take my A corners, this one and this one, and what I have to do is put glue on the inside finger joints, like this. And I'll do the same thing over here. Now, I'm going to take my finger and just kind of spread it a little bit. These inside fingers, these are the ones that are going to contact the inside of the notches. And that is more than enough glue to keep this box together. And some might even say you don't need any glue to keep a box like this together. Okay, that's pretty good. So let's take the bottom and slip it in. You notice that I have this routed out. This goes down, faces downward. Okay, you'll notice I didn't glue that. And the reason why is I want that bottom panel to be able to float and move just a little bit, because as the box swells and contracts over the seasons, over the years, I don't want something to break. That will allow this to float. Okay, I've got the same thing going on this edge too. I have the B corners. Okay, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to go ahead and put this panel on here. And notice that the bottom panel also fits into it. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Okay, now, this is where it gets dangerous. So I have to make sure that I have the right sides together, and that means that this is the, looks like the C, and that is the A. And I have C here and I have A here, which means that it's in the right corner. Now what I have to do is, once again, because I know where the inside corner is, that's obviously the one that has the groove, I'll go ahead and glue up the fingers here, and then the same on both sides. On this one here, I have a problem with gravity. So I'm going to go ahead and just wipe off the excess. It's already trying to run away on me. Okay, let's turn it upside down. Lay it on there.
All the way down?
Nope.
Okay.
You notice we're just kind of walking it in there. Okay, go ahead and take it home.
Okay. Alrighty.
That's great. Okay, now let's turn it up on its bottom.
Okay.
It's been about an hour and the glue is set up pretty well, so we'll go ahead and take off the clamps. All right, well, the basic part of your blanket chest is done. Now, the joinery is not quite as precise as I'd hoped. but it is our first time building a blanket chest. So all things considered, I think it's pretty good.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love the homemade look. I don't want it to look like it came out of a factory.
Yeah, it
I
definitely
love the
didn't come out of
homemade.
a factory.
Yeah.
Well, let's turn it over so they can see the inside.
Righty.
So here it is.
Oh, did you see that? The bottom moved a little
Yeah.
bit. That's
yeah.
great.
We have the floating bottom.
Yes.
It actually did move.
It did.
Yeah.
And that's great.
Yep, we like that. It will keep it from breaking as the wood
Yes.
shrinks and swells. So that's great. Yeah, I think this is going to be a great chest. We still have to build the lid, and we still have to build the base that the whole thing sits on. And we'll have to find some suitable hinges. We can't just go down to Home Depot, buy some hinges and throw on there. That just
No.
wouldn't look right. So
I agree.
we'll keep looking around. Maybe we'll find a local blacksmith or something who can make us something.
Wouldn't that be
It
wonderful?
would be. Yeah, we just saw one yesterday, but he was kind of busy.
He was teaching a class,
Yeah,
which
he-
was wonderful. There were so many young people there learning.
Yeah, they were twisting things and hammering on things and doing all
Yeah.
kinds of neat stuff. So that's a possibility. The other thing too is we're trying to find a historically accurate wood finish for this so that it has the right color. We don't want to just go down and buy Minwax or something like that and throw it on here. It just wouldn't look right. This is supposed to represent a handcrafted early American blanket chest.
I'm excited about it though.
Yeah, that's going to be great. That's going to be great. This turned out a lot better than I expected it would. All right, you guys, we are out of time, so we'll go grab Elizabeth and say our goodbyes. Well, all good things must come to an end eventually, and we've had a great time with Elizabeth visiting us here.
Oh, yes.
And we're glad to have you. It's been a while since we've seen you.
Yeah, it's been really fun.
So we had a good time
much fun.
running all over the place and checking out this and checking out that, and a little bit of woodworking too. So.
Yeah.
But it is time to say goodbye because she has to get to the airport.
Yeah. Thank you for watching 1834 Restoration House. Please like, share, and subscribe.